The 22 ATV National Motocross Championship began at Daytona. An 8-time national champion, Chad Wienen, found himself off the racetrack and in the mud. For once, the luck had turned in the direction of his championship competitor, Joel Hetrick, as Wienen had to work his way from the back of the pack. Wienen put in hard work to try to salvage a podium, while meanwhile, Brandon Hogue was putting in the race of his life up front until his machine started steaming and ultimately failed, allowing Hetrick to take over the lead. For a rider that's had nothing but bad luck at Daytona in the past, things were swinging his way as Wienen made up a few more spots at the end, and Hogue soaked up the cheers from the fans after a great ride up front. Late in the race, a huge battle broke out for the podium. Ultimately, Max Lindquist would finish second and Jeffrey Rastrelli third, while Hetrick finally starts the year the way he wants, with a win at the World Center of Racing and his championship rival Wienen struggling to fifth. Can Hetrick keep the Daytona momentum going? We're headed to Three Palms in Texas next. It's round 2 of the 2022 ATV National Motocross Series from Three Palms MX in Texas. Beautiful facility, action sports park. So we've got things for dogs to do. We've got the wakeboard park and a variety of motocross and supercross tracks and some of the best dirt you'll find anywhere in the nation. I've had the pleasure of riding this track multiple times. It is so fun. I'm Jason Wygant here to give you the call. You can see all the riders lining up, some really cool special graphics. Yeah, I got to go with the Dallas Cowboys theme, Bryce Ford, when you're in Texas. Cody Ford, his brother's got his number 5 looking good, and there's Chad Wienen. Doesn't have the red backgrounds on the machine after losing the points lead in round 1. Saw that in the intro. Brandon Hogue, can he carry that Daytona speed here to Texas? All red Turini out of Italy. It's going to be a contender today. That 101, that's Cesar Jimenez. 55, Logan Stanfield. Nick Janusa on the all-black Yamaha here, coming out of New Jersey. And then much further, Catriel Altamirano, coming out of Argentina. So that's interesting. Going to be a guest rider at several rounds of the series. Let's check in with Jeffrey Rastrelli on the podium at round 1.
Hey guys, Jeffrey Rastrelli here, Three Palms MX. Just looking to carry some momentum off from Daytona, finish on the podium there with the first time on the Rastrelli Racing Yamaha here. So, and Rastrelli Racing Rocket Machining Design FXR, you know, those guys really put together a good machine. So it was, we're gonna carry some momentum off into Three Palms here and hopefully click off another podium. So we'll see how it goes.
Max Lindquist also on the podium along with Rastrelli at round 1. Let's check in with him.
Alrighty guys, here at Three Palms MX, Texas. Beautiful weather, sunshine, great track. Coming off of Daytona was a second place finish. Still stoked on that. Really good momentum coming in here. Just looking to kind of do the same, stay on that box and shoot for podiums and just kind of see where the weekend takes us and hopefully it works out all right.
Well, let's see how this track looks. The beautiful dirt, although the riders will have to deal with some heat and humidity. Good to know that Max Lindquist considers it beautiful weather. He's ready for it. We'll unleash him here in qualifying. There's Joel Hetrick on the 88, showing you just how rough this track can get. And there is Rastrelli. Look at that dirt, like I mentioned, beautiful here in Texas. Not a lot of elevation change on the track, but the layout and the soil help make up for that. It's still going to get very challenging just because of the bumps. Lindquist able to just barely find the edge of traction in that corner. Ford as well, and he's been quick here in his home races when we come to Texas. And there's Chad Wienen, got to get it back on track. You almost never enter a race where Wienen was not on the podium the previous week. But the big man from Illinois is going to use that leverage when the track gets rough. Really cool shot here, show you just how fast they really go. And the idea of qualifying is just to get gate pick selection for the motos later on today. That's where the points are paid out. And also gives the fans a chance to see just the kind of airtime that these ATV riders can do. There's the Italian, Turini. finished 10th at the opener at Daytona. Cody Ford had a rough go of it there, got bumped off the track at Daytona and went into the mud for a much cleaner race day today. That's Vincent Merman handling the whoop section. And Brandon Hogue, who's putting in maybe the best race of his career at Daytona until his engine let go. See if he can carry that forward today. There's Jimenez, Texas native. Man, that jump's scary every time you see these riders try to air it out. Altamirano there, the rider from Argentina. Joe Hetrick, fastest qualifier today, no surprise. That is normally his domain, as is this. Phoenix Racing, yeah, he's got the cool Texans-themed graphics on his machine. An NFL weekend. All right, let's check in with your series leader.
What's up, guys? We just finished up qualifying here at Three Palms. Went really good. First qualifier, I ended up third. Second qualifier, put in some good laps, made some adjustments to the bike, and was able to come out on top of that one. Give me a good gate pick for this this first moto here, and I'm really looking forward to it. The track's really racy. It's really fun. The pro sections are rad, and I'm just looking forward to getting out there and seeing what I can do. A little under the weather right now, as you can tell. My voice is in and out, but I feel okay still, and I'm ready to go out there and see what I can do.
And we'll have Moto 1 when we return to MAV TV. ATV Motocross is brought to you by RP Race Performance, by Rocky Mountain ATVMC, and by CST Tires. Welcome back, MAV TV's coverage of the ATV National Motocross Championship. Jason Wygant here to give you the call. Three Palms MX, we've had great amateur racing and pro qualifying all weekend long here from Conroe, Texas. But let's get it going with our pros in just a minute. It's always fun to watch the kids and see what they're capable of. And now the fans get to the fence line to get ready for our pro motos. Last minute tuning and adjustments onto our pro top machines in the field right now. Got to watch the Ford brothers. They're Texas natives. They usually do well in their home state. Chad Wienen looking for a bounce back. Max Lindquist and Rastrelli trying to capitalize on the podium at round one. And then, of course, the 88 there of Hetrick coming in holding the series lead. Pretty stacked right now. And early in the season, no one really knows exactly where they stand. That's the way we like it. A lot of questions that need to be answered. Let's do it. Here from Three Palms. And a charging into turn one we go. We got the GoPro here on the back. That's our Rocky Mountain onboard with Rastrelli. And you see how much roost these things can throw. And Ford is up front. Bryce Ford, and this is going to be interesting. He has speed. And he's good on this track. And now he has to start. Can he bring it home? And another tough one for Wienen, who is mired in traffic. Look at that speed through the whoops. That was Jeffrey Rastrelli. Hogue did bring some of that Daytona magic here. Look at this. He's on the inside trying to take the lead, and Ford takes a look over. It's a whole new Brandon Hogue this year. And is that Hetrick up to third? Yes, it is on the Phoenix Racing Yamaha. Now, that is a really cool shot, and really get to hear the engine with the exhaust back there, and exactly here, hitting the rev limiter and trying to power down when they hit the landings and accelerate back to Ford versus Hogue versus Hetrick. Great scenario. Two young riders in the series that want to show they can run the Hetrick pace, and they've got the opportunity to do it. Here's Wienen, still a long way to go early on here. Top three trying to check out. Rastrelli not too far back yet. Oh, it looks like Hetrick wants to go. Looking for room to get around Hogue for second. Ford still in the lead. Ford doing a good job stretching it to get that double. stretching that one as well. Clean landing for your leader. Now Hogue has to deal with Hetrick. That might slow him up a little bit, as he's gonna have to ride defensive now. And Hetrick just sends it down those whoops to the inside. Got this machine to stick and takes the spot away. Well, he didn't want to lose too much time back there. And that's the best opening on the track, but also a risky one to just send it into the whoops like that. And look at Hetrick trying to make up ground. Where did Wienen come from? He has already gotten around Hogue. And if I were to venture to guess, it would be those whoops. We've already seen they're a good passing spot, and no one gets to whoops like the 6'4" Chad Wienen. But the problem is, these two are long gone, and in previous years, sometimes the worst case scenario for Wienen, he still can make it up to second, but Bryce definitely has pace right now. He has to catch two riders. Nice move by Hetrick to try to set Ford up. Tried the outside to inside, a bump and run after the whoops, keeping it a little lower over those jumps, and it all sets him up to take the lead. But he high centers on those ruts, and Ford comes back, contact, and he retakes the lead. Oh, fantastic racing. This is the experience that Ford needs. He has the talent, and he's learning lessons from one of the best to ever do it. Hetrick, one of the fastest to ever swing a leg over one of these machines, and Ford holding his own today. There's Wienen. Can he bridge the gap? And Hetrick doesn't want to give him a chance. Hetrick finds another inside line, and he's got the lead for the second time. He's got to go. I was surprised how much ground Wienen was able to make up as these two were battling each other. That one sector where they got high centered and were bumping and banging, that allowed Wienen to get them in sight. Hetrick pulling the pin, as they say, looking to blow it up and just leave this one behind. But Ford's hanging. Ford doing a good job back there. Now Hetrick just inching away. But this would be a real test. Like I said, Wienen, it almost seems like whatever gets thrown at him, he can end up in the number 2 spot if Hetrick wins it. Can Bryce Ford change that narrative in 2022? And there's Hogue. Not the race leader's pace like he had at Daytona, but this is still impressive. Nothing to be ashamed of, still a good ride. Hetrick has this under control. A dream start to the season. He got through Daytona, which is normally the Achilles heel. He's fast on every other track, no doubt about it. And there's the tail of the tape. Wienen trying to catch Ford. Let's see the gap now. And it's still pretty sizable between Ford and Wienen. Hey, it's one step at a time. Ford, I'm sure, would love to win the Moto. No, wait a minute. Look what has happened. Wienen has lost several positions. He went from 3rd to 7th, and now in desperation mode to get these spots back. There he is battling with Lindquist. And I think that's Janusa right there, just to salvage the top 5. And look at Lindquist not taking anything from the defending champ, able to get him back on the inside and wheeling to try to keep the power to the ground while dealing with Janusa. Now, Hetrick doesn't know any of this is going on, but this is what he's been waiting years for. Mistakes from Wienen, and this crew is putting up a fight, and that's costing him valuable points. So he got back around them and will try to deal with Rastrelli next, as Hetrick is looking for a max points haul up front, but this is a big shakeup. I know it's early in the season, but we have rarely seen Chad Wienen have his back up against the wall, but that's the situation he's already in with the 5th at round 1 and 5th right now. Can he get Rastrelli here late? Look at Lindquist following him through. Everything Wienen does, Lindquist trying to match it. White flag is out, so I don't think you're going to see a podium for Wienen in this one. You're going to see it from Hetrick, though, in the number 1 spot. Great ride, managed it well, good enough start, and then took the risk when he needed to get it in the 2nd. And look at Wienen still making moves. Got it done on Rastrelli. Not going to be enough for a podium, but every point counts. He will take 4th. Brandon Hogue bringing the Daytona form here on the box here in Moto 1. And Rastrelli relegated to 5th. Joe Hendrick looking good, though, early in Texas. ATV Motocross on MAV TV is brought to you by RP Race Performance, Rocky Mountain ATVMC, and by CST Tires. We are ready for Moto 2 from Three Palms Motocross. Chad Wienen there. A lot of work to do. Only 4th in the first moto. Needs to get points back. At least get on the podium today. Don't normally see him hovering top 4, top 5. It's normally all about wins or podiums. Let's go racing. Brandon Hogue was on the inside, bumping and banging wheels. Did not quite work out. Hendrick has the whole shot. And he already dominated Moto 1. Hogue ends up 2nd off the line. There is Wienen, much better start in 3rd, and Ford, our runner-up in Moto 1, is 4th. So let's see. Well, I don't think we need to see. We know what Hendrick can do with this kind of a start. Let's see what Wienen can do. He has not been up front early in a moto so far in 2022. He's got to work on Hogue, the much improved Hogue for the new season. And Wienen tried. You know, he wants to make a roll through those whoops. That is his strong point. Couldn't make it happen there. Hendrick just unbelievable through the corners. Just lighting it up. Rider originally out of Pennsylvania. We now list him as hailing from Statesville, North Carolina. That's where his Phoenix Racing Yamaha team operates. And that is one of the most versatile teams in the game. Have a lot of two-wheeled action going on under their roof as well. GNCC and Supercross and Motocross and Arena Cross. But their heart is in ATV Motocross and winning this title. Chad Wienen's heart's in it right now. He used those whoops. He got to the inside of Brandon Hogue. So now he's up to 2nd. And this could allow him to salvage the overall podium for the day. But can he go after Joel Hendrick? And Lindquist, on the number 2, has been shadowing Wienen for most of the race day. Not the start that Ford wanted after the good run and the runner-up ride in Moto 1. He's had a little more work to do. See him hovering at about 5th right now. So we'll keep the tabs on Wienen and the lap times. Now catching Joel Hendrick is nigh unto impossible to do. But this track is rougher in Moto 2, and look at Wienen just bashing through those whoops. Maybe he can make up some time. We're watching Lindquist and Ford battling it out, 4th and 5th, 2 of the youngsters in this series. Trying to become weekly podium regulars. That's the goal. Oh, Jimenez has stalled the machine. Hey, Wienen has caught Hendrick. We've got a race for the Moto win on our hands here. And Hogue and Lindquist battling it out. Great racing today in Texas. Lindquist looking to make moves. So now Wienen has Hendrick in his sights. So he still has speed this year. He just hasn't had the starts or the luck. But he was able to catch Hendrick, and you don't see that much. Can he get to the inside? Shows him a wheel. It is on for the Moto win, and huge for the confidence and momentum if Wienen can get this done. Airing it out over the tabletops. Looks like Hendrick has stalled that charge from Wienen just a bit, just a few more lengths between them than there were. This battle continues to rage. Oh, it's close enough. And there you see Ford getting Lindquist and Hogue in his sights. Logan Stanfield having problems. There's Hendrick inching away now. Had the challenge from Wienen. He was able to respond. Can Wienen put in another charge? It's impressive to see that. But Hendrick here on the 88. Look at how he backs it into that corner. Comes in on the outside, turns early, and then just mashes the gas coming out. Lindquist, hard ride to get up into 3rd. It's going to make the overall podium today pretty hard to figure out. Lindquist was only 6th in Moto 1. Ford here had a 2nd, and he's working on 4th. I think that'll be enough to put him on the box. We're not done here. Oh no! Max Lindquist, though, is done. He has pulled off the track. I'd have to assume it's a mechanical, and just like that, his shot at a podium is over. There's the checkered flag for Hetrick. He's going to sweep the motos. Ford ends up inheriting 3rd in that moto, Wienen 3rd overall. Let's go to the podium.
What's up, everybody? It's Bryce Ford here. We just got done with our 2nd moto. I had a super good day. At my home track, I qualified 3rd, felt good, just stayed calm. We're up here in 2nd place. I'm super stoked after a disappointing Daytona, and just gonna keep the momentum going into Georgia and throughout the year, just race by race.
That 2nd moto, we really dug deep for that one, and we wanted it bad, but man, Joel adapted pretty well to the track, and I was pushing on him like for a long time, and just kind of ran out of gas a little bit, but man, finally racing at the sharp end of this thing, and it felt good, and we're gonna leave Texas. A little points drop, but we all know there's a long year ahead, and hopefully we start turning it on and make some magic.
Felt pretty incredible. Just I had Chad breathing down my neck that whole 2nd moto, and was able to adapt to the track and change my lines, and pulled a little bit of gap at the end on him, and just felt really good to extend the points lead, and honestly, just to win that moto with him right there the whole race, and me feeling a little bit under the weather. I dug deep, and it showed today. I can't thank the whole Phoenix crew enough. You know, this machine is awesome right now. Just put it all together. That whole show was really helpful, and I'm glad that I came out up top. So thank you all.
Well, Hetrick certainly sounded worse than he rode today. CST Tires giving you the race recap. So Ford gets the early lead over Hogue and Hetrick. Hetrick goes to work. A daring move here down the left side. Just able to get into that corner and make the move on Hogue. And then he goes after the lead. This was great racing. So Hetrick gets the lead. Ford gets it back. Hetrick repasses. And this time, he was able to get away and take the moto win. There's desperation because Chad Wienen had a bad start, got to 3rd, dropped back again, and then was eventually able to make a last lap pass on Jeffrey Rastrelli to salvage some points. And there is Hetrick taking the moto win. Relatively easy once he got away from Ford. Moto 2 banging wheels. It is Hetrick and Hogue. Hetrick grabs the lead. Wienen much better start this time in 3rd. He goes to work on Hogue. And down to the inside. Able to take over 2nd and then run Hetrick down. Close the gap. You don't see that very often. But then as Hetrick mentioned, he figured out the lines and was able to pull back away. Heartbreak for Max Lindquist. Had a great run going. Got into 3rd in the moto, and then the machine let go. And that made it a little easier on the math for Ford to end up 2nd overall. Hetrick 3rd. Wienen 3rd, and Hetrick, of course, the win. That's 2-2 to start the season. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching from Three Palms, and congratulations to Joel Hetrick.